Yo guys, what is good? Welcome back to the Uncle Sharma channel. How you guys doing? Here today for a Champions League preview. And yes, finally we're doing a Champions League preview with some points on the board. We're not here in a sad mood, just hoping to finally get a win or finally get a goal in the Champions League, because we did finally get a win last time around against these guys, the Sheriff Tiraspol. Who is in the house? Let me know quickly, guys, before we crack in. Who is in the house? We got the usual, the regulars, Mr. Tommy, Nigerian Inter fan in the cut. My guy, Massimo De Marco as well. What's up, brother? Patiently waiting for another correct prediction. Okay, yeah. I got three predictions correct in a row. Can I make it 4 in a row? Let's see. We'll see by the end of the video my prediction, and I'll probably be swayed by some of you guys, because I always do like to listen to what you guys say, and I do get swayed by your thoughts and opinions in the chat. Gerald, yes, we'll get into my starting lineup as well. I'll pull up the predicted lineup, and then we can talk about who would you rather start. We got the game mans as well. What up in the house? White suburban kid as well. I think you need to change your username, man. It just sounds weird when I'm saying white suburban kid in the house, calling out your channel name. Or can you explain why your username is white suburban kid? That would be it would be nice to understand your backstory behind that name. Future Hendrix in the house, of course. He wants to see Correa starting. Won't happen though, because Limone he's going to be benched for 2 games to score in the brace. Yeah, we do need to talk about Limone's choice, because he doesn't seem to reward good form necessarily. Especially when we speak about Alexis. Alexis, he had a good substitute appearances, a few good substitute appearances. Then he had a good match against Empoli, and then he ends up being on the bench against Udinese in the last match, and in the predicted lineups he's not starting once again. So I know that is difficult up front. We've got so many choices this year. This is the thing. Last 2 seasons you always just knew, unless Lukaku had some sort of disease, or he was taken down by struck down by lightning, it was going to be Lukaku and Lautaro, and maybe 30-40% chance Sanchez. But now it's like you're not quite sure with Inzaghi. It's a little bit, especially now that everyone's faced, a bit of a lottery. But form wise, you could say that Sanchez is the most informed to what he's shown us until now. But yeah, we'll get into that in a minute. I've spoiled us. If you get the prediction wrong, we're writing. Hey man, don't hold me to no high standard. I usually am pretty bad with my predictions. I'm just going through a lucky period right now. What's up, Emiliano? Hey, Petro says his favorite streamer. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. Eduardo in the house as well. If you make it 4 in a row, might as well go for the lottery numbers. Yeah, man. If I get 4 in a row, there's something happening somewhere that I've got some good luck going, so I need to make sure I take advantage of that. Mehdi in the house as well. Anyone sad seeing Conte joining Tottenham? Yeah, man, it did hurt a little bit. And I have actually I shot the video. I shot the video just before coming on right now, my Conte reaction thoughts. So you'll see that. I'll edit that after this video, and you get to see probably like an 8 or 9 minute video of just my thoughts of the Conte move as an Interista, and also how I feel like it will work out Spurs wise and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, look out for that video, probably coming out maybe tonight, but probably tomorrow. My predictions have been on point. Please predict 7-0. Jeez, my Sharingan jutsu. Gerald is not sad about Spurs at Conte. Yeah, I'm not sad in terms of seeing it, but it's just seeing Conte in general so soon after he left is a little bit, especially seeing the training pictures as well. He's looking, smiling, and yeah, I mean, I'm happy with Inzaghi, but Conte is still, one of the elite coaches out there. Where do these predicted lineups come from anyway? Yeah, usually I use Sky Sport Italy. So Sky Sport Italia, they're the most accurate. I usually pull them up on screen, but they don't have their lineup out yet, so I can't actually pull it up. I just hadn't made. I'd made my own tactical board. But yeah, usually Sky Sport Italy are the most trusted source for me. I don't know if they have a mole in the team. Usually it's like 95% accurate. They'll get like, sometimes they have like the last few matches they had Ranocchia starting and he didn't for the Empoli match, but he did for the last one. Like they clearly do have some very good inside news. And yes, White Suburban Kid, no injury FC at the moment, but touch any possible wood that you can or any type of superstition because we need this to continue. Having this team fully fit, having so many options is such a blessing. Even under Pintus at times, we know he did a great job, his team, making sure the players were fit, but we would have, it's impossible not to have injuries especially when these players are playing so often, international break as well, traveling all around the world. Kuro Black says Tuku's going to show class again. Yeah, but it looks like he's not in the predicted starting lineups. He's not in the starting lineups at the moment, guys. Yeah, Conte will be targeting into players, but that's nothing surprising. If he was going to go to Spurs or Man United or PSG or any team in the world, Conte would have targeted into players, guys. And not everyone is as broke as Inter, so everyone's got some money to spend. So that's the truth. That's the reality of the football world at the moment. So we'll see. I broke my 2-1 prediction because, I used to make 2-1 predictions all the time, didn't I? But I've moved away from those. I've grown. Tommy says he's feeling really emotional about Conte. I'm happy with Limone so far, but I do miss Conte too. Yeah, especially when you see clips of last season, when you hear, Conte shouting on the sideline, all that kind of stuff, it does bring back good memories. And today I posted on my Twitter a video of like, Christian Eriksen and there's Conte in the back shouting like, Forza Christian, passa the ball. He's doing like a mixture of Italian and English. It's Dagli the ball. Dagli the ball is like he's saying Dagli is like give him in Italian, but the ball in English. Dagli the ball. Or Dagli la ball. I can't remember exactly what he said, but it's just funny. Just a great character. Saud in the house as well. He says he's encouraged by the last 2 games, of course. The most encouraging thing for me is the newfound or the refound balance in the team. We're not conceding anywhere near the amount of chances and goals for sure. And yeah, the Sheriff match was one of the first matches where we did, because if you remember the Sheriff match, there wasn't much that we gave away, and the goal that they scored was a bloody 35-yard free kick that Handanovic should have saved. Yep. Loving the reports. Yeah, don't read too much into it as well, guys, because now it's just obvious. It's like the easiest way to sell newspapers, to sell clicks to their website. Like, what's the easiest thing to link? Darmian to Spurs, anyone to Spurs, Bastoni, Skriniar, anyone, Brozovic, it is what it is, and it's believable. That's the issue as well, because it's not like it's completely outrageous. That if they do come correct with the money, Inter will probably sell, but I wouldn't read too much into it. He's not gonna completely raid Inter, and they've got a decent squad. Spurs. I don't think it needs as much work to it as a lot of people think. I think that Spurs team needs just 1 or 2 additions, and they're a top 4 team in that Premier League for sure, in my opinion, anyway. Yeah, even Ranocchia played good, which is one of the things I was happy about, because Conte definitely raised the level of some of these substitutes as well, and I was waiting to see that if can Inzaghi do that as well. Am I feeling positive about tomorrow? Yes, Nicola, I am feeling positive about tomorrow, because I like the Inter that I've been seeing recently. As I said, I like the balance a lot more in this team, and Sheriff as well. I think the first 2 matches, they're still top of the group, by the way, so we still have to respect Sheriff, but it was a little bit, that enthusiasm, the first ever time of the history in the Champions League, all that kind of stuff, where it can lead you to have performances that probably they never imagined either, and getting the results against Shakhtar and Real Madrid, like it was absolutely crazy. But I think that's kind of done now. I think that now they're going to revert to kind of their real level, and everyone's kind of worked them out. They're just going to sit back and try to counteract and all that kind of stuff. So I think we created a lot of chances in the match that we played against them. Yes, this is going to be at their home, but I'm feeling still very confident about this match for sure. Petros, am I in uni or do I work? No, I'm fully working now. I'm working life, man. I graduated a few years ago, and now I've been working. I do miss uni life though. Best time. I think we should swap Ericsson for Onana, win-win for everyone involved. Yeah, we'll see. I've spoken about that in the past. Yeah, that could be possibly something that could happen. It depends on what Ajax value Onana right now and what Inter value Ericsson in terms of. I think Ericsson's book value is still quite hefty. I think we bought him for 20 million plus there was 6 million of commissions. So I'm not sure exactly what his book value for Inter would be at the moment. It's probably around 10 plus million. I'm still guessing because he had a 4 or 5 year contract. So and Onana, what Ajax valuing him? So we'll see because Onana's available on a free really at the end of the season, and I don't think Inter seem to be too eager to bring in Onana straight away. But if Ajax do want Ericsson, that could be possibly something that could make sense. Help Ericsson continue his career and bring in the keeper that we do need for the long term. Yeah, Brozovic is definitely one to be scared about, but as Kessie, I think Kessie will go to Spurs, and I think there was reports coming out already today that there's an agreement between Kessie and Kessie's agent and Spurs for a 10 million wage, and that answers your question in terms of Kessie there, Gerald. I've always said Kessie is out of our budget now. If this was a year ago, 2 years ago, Kessie Marotta would have secured Kessie already, but we can't pay what Kessie wants, which is he's demanding around 7-8 million net to Milan, which they're not offering. Milan are offering around 5-6 million net. And apparently the agreement with the Spurs that I saw today, I don't know if it's how true it is, how confirmed it is, but they said around 10 million, and you just can't compete with Premier League wages plus the commission that his agent is going to get is going to be quite hefty from what I read. So yeah, Kessie's definitely out, but I think if Kessie goes to Spurs, that saves Brozovic from going to Spurs because they don't need Brozovic if they get Kessie. Kessie, Højbjerg, Ndombele, Lo Celso. That's a good ass midfield. Anguissa, that would be interesting, but Napoli, I think they have like a 15 million euro the option to buy on him, and they're gonna take that. Like if they don't take that in January as soon as possible, they're silly. So if Napoli don't take that option, then maybe yes, but Napoli will take that option because they can't be that silly. Yeah, I mean that's something we can talk about. Barella resting. I felt like that Udinese match really was the best possible chance to rest Barella because especially when we were 2-0 up, I was surprised that Inzaghi didn't use his usual happy trigger finger because Empoli, Udinese, these are the matches now where Barella could have rested. I don't think you can rest really Barella because these Champions League matches, as I said in my post-match reaction, every single one of these Champions League matches now are like a final because we have to win every single one of these matches if you want to secure our advancement to the next stage. And you can't rest Barella. You have to play the best team for that, and you can't rest Barella for that. If we can substitute him around, the 60th or 70th minute, then yes, for sure, if the result is good. But I disagree. I don't think this is not the match where you could rest Barella. It should have been either Empoli or either Udinese. And I think we would have been fine without Barella in both of those matches, especially with how Vidal has been playing recently. Oh, yeah. I mean, Conte, if you buy Gagliardini, he'll go up even more in my estimation. That means he's a real Interista, Conte. I mean, he spoke. Did you see his words today? He was talking about the reason why. I've got his words there. The reason why he didn't go to Spurs in the summer because he said it was still too recent and too emotionally involved with Inter still. I mean, this guy is like, he's buttering me up. I said it before. Conte, yeah, I mean, Conte is the guy that took him to the next level for Lukaku for sure, and he can do the same to Kane. Hey, we got Anthony Priv in the house. What's up, brother? Morning for you. Yeah, feeling positive about the week ahead. Let's lock those 3 points against Sheriff. Yeah, exactly, brother. Ahead of that Milan derby, and make sure you check out any preview that Anthony might be doing as well regarding this. I'm used to the uni. Hey, no. I was missing, the vibes, the uni vibes. Don't make me out to be some sort of, I'm not some Mauro Icardi type character. All right, respect me. I feel tomorrow we will need to be counter-attacking masterclass because Sherrif will not shy about attacking. Yeah, but they weren't shy about attacking, but they're not shy about sitting back behind the ball. I think we ended that match. What was it? 70% possession. Let me have a quick look. And they've averaged 25% possession in general. Sheriff in the Champions League. So they do push men forwards in terms of counter attacks. But that's when we have the balls. Then that's when they push the onus onto attacking. So let's have a look. What was the stats? Yeah, 71% possession. So I expect similar numbers again tomorrow. Maybe a little bit less because they're at home and they might be taking a little bit more control. Um, but we saw though that when they do counterattack, as I would said, they do commit a lot of men forward, and our goals did come from some moments, or we could have scored more goals actually from some counterattacks. Remembering the Dumfries one where Dumfries on the counter kind of messed up the touch. And even when we win the ball high up, Arturo Vidal's goal was kind of not want to say a counterattack, but a high pressing moment. But once again, tomorrow we'll be controlling the play, and it will be a similar game to kind of the Udinese game where we're controlling the ball and they'll be trying to hit us on the counter. But they're much more dangerous than Udinese on the counter, that's for sure. Yeah, I mean, when it comes to players like Anguissa, it's a gamble because if you're watching Premier League on a regular basis, you see the potential in this player. But the problem is with a lot of these players, when you sign for clubs like Inter, is like can they make that step up? But yeah, that's great scouting work from Napoli for sure. About that, do you think Ericsson should rejoin Spurs? No. I think I've seen that a few people mention that, but do people forget like Ericsson and Conte's relationship? That was Ericsson at the end, last 6 months, finally managing to somehow adapt to what Conte wanted. But Ericsson does not. He doesn't want to play under Conte again, guys. And Conte, he did manage to change Ericsson into what he wanted, but that was what I would call that Ericsson. We never got to see the best Ericsson at Inter. Like we got to see a good Ericsson in that Inter team, but that's not the best Ericsson. The best Ericsson, I feel like we would have seen under Inzaghi. We saw it, most of his career at Spurs for Denmark. Like Ericsson being given the freedom to attack and getting into, shooting on goal. That's where Ericsson is. And he said himself before at the end of the season, I remember his interview where he said, yes, this season I adapted to a new role, a bit deeper, but that's not where I want to play. So I don't see that relationship ever kind of happening again. And I don't know actually the rules for the Premier League. There might be I don't because I obviously in the Dutch league it seem to be a bit more lenient with the daily blind, but I don't know if the Premier League have got their own rules regarding this. Making threats to the crocodile. Yeah, let's get into the predicted lineups now, guys. These are the predicted lineups that I saw online, the latest ones. So don't quote me on this, but I think it makes sense because, as I said, I think it will be Lautaro and Dzeko up front. As I said, it's unfortunate, as I was talking at the beginning. I feel like Sanchez that deserves to start, and obviously like Correa scoring 2 goals, and he probably needs some continuity in the team. But if you're saying to me what is the kind of the best team right now, I feel like this is the best team that Inter have at the moment. Apart from Di Marco as centre back, it would be Bastoni. Apart from that, I think this is Inter's best team right now. I think Vidal, I would edge Vidal over Çalhanoğlu at the moment because Hakan, as I said, I think he's been okay. It hasn't been as bad as people make him out to be, but I think Vidal, and he hasn't started as many games for sure, but what he showed against Sheriff last time around, I think Vidal should be this left centre mid for the moment. Obviously, Brozovic, Barella, there's no argument. And at the back line, there's no argument. And Darmian at the moment is clearly ahead of Dumfries for Still, who is adapting. But up front, Dzeko is our top scorer. He's become more important than I ever expected him to. And he probably was the man, him and Vidal, one of those two was the man of the match against Sheriff as well. Dzeko probably had one of his poorer, or maybe his poorest match actually against Udinese. And I was surprised again with Dzeko. Like, why didn't Inzaghi rest this guy? Why did he give the full 90 minutes to Dzeko? Which, because I know he's going to start Dzeko tomorrow. And why? Yeah, I think Dzeko, his age needs to be managed better by Inzaghi. And Lautaro only had a substitute appearance coming off the back of a new contract. he's gonna start, guys. He's gonna start. And this is the who scored predicted lineup, and they have the exact same apart from Bastoni in there rather than Di Marco. I can see Di Marco starting just because we saw the same reason that he did against the Sheriff in the the first time around. We're going to have so much of the ball, so Di Marco actually is going to be attacking most of the time. He's going to be using his ball progression, his passing ability for most of the match anyway. And one of the Vrij and Skriniar recently have rested. They've been rotated out, and Bastoni hasn't been yet. So I can see that happening. But once again, I could also see Bastoni starting because if you are worried about Sherrif on the counter, what do you guys think? Should Bastoni start or Di Marco start there? I think out of all the rotation, this is probably the one I might toy with, just because we're gonna dominate possession so much, and because of that, it's gonna be Perisic starting. And as I said, especially on an away day in Transitania, or how do I actually say the name? Transitania. Yeah, this is, by the way, this is Inter's travel. It's not ideal when we think about it, especially with the Milan derby coming up. Inter traveling from Milan is like a 2,000-kilometer travel. It's like a 2 or 3 hour flight to Moldova, to Chisinau Airport, and then from the Chisinau Airport they also have to take another coach that apparently will take about an hour and a half to around Tiraspol, which is the separate area from Moldova, Transitania. So it's not ideal. And then obviously, and apparently Inter, usually they do the training session. They would have done today's training session would have been done at the Sheriff training complex, but Inzaghi decided to do it at Appiano Gentile in Milan, so to get ahead of the schedule, so they don't need to do anything. But it's not ideal. And apparently they're going to fly back straight after the match as well. So they're going to land back in Milan at like 4 o'clock in the morning. So these guys are not going to get much sleep, much rest. So it's not an ideal away day for sure. What does it actually look like? Let's go in the street view for the Sheriff Sports. Oh wow, interesting. That it looks like a wedding hall from the outside, like one of those you go for like one of those event halls. I think it's a 12,000 seater stadium, so I wasn't expecting much, but it looks interesting. But it's definitely it's one of those tricky away days for sure, and it's not ideal in terms of timing and all that kind of stuff. So let me see what you guys are saying in the comments. Maybe even Dumfries could replace Chala in midfield. Whoa, you want to see? I'd never want to see that in my life. I want to see. I mean, Dumfries is struggling as it is technically on the wing, where there's a lot more space in midfield when people are where the crowd is, where the traffic is. Oh my God, that would be an awful experiment, Nicola. And Brick Freeze masterclass incoming. Yeah, but it looks like he's not starting in this one. Would you guys start Dumfries in this one? I feel like this one, it could be another one. I would personally start Brick Freeze in this one because I know I want to start Darmian in the Milan derby. It has to be Darmian in the Milan derby. So for that reason, I could toy with the idea of putting Dumfries in this one, and he played quite well against the Sheriff last time around. Let's not forget, he had those chances on the counter-attack which he didn't take, but I feel like he does need some consecutive games. I don't think this kind of one game in, one game out, one game in, out is going to do him much good. I feel like he needs some regular, consistent game time. Joe will give my prediction at the end of the video in about 5-10 minutes. We can talk about this. I saw today actually we were linked, and apparently it's been confirmed that Inter made an offer for the Salzburg player Karim Adeyemi, who's one of the hot prospects at the moment, a young striker. I've only seen the highlights in the Champions League where he's looked really good, but it's good to see that Inter have actually made an offer for these young prospects again, that we're back into that kind of looking at more younger talents rather than older experience, because that's kind of what we have to go for. Yeah, of course, Vlahovic, Onana. I wouldn't count Onana as a young player, but I guess for keepers, he's quite young. Fully fit Sensi is 10 times better than Hakan and should be fit now. Inzaghi needs to make sure to leave one sub in case he gets injured. Yeah, that's one thing with the Sensi. But we've seen with Sensi, guys, it's like, I think he needs, you have to give Sensi like a month of training time before, just you're sure that, he's okay physically. We've seen under Conte, there's so many times. Conte, for once, there was one time where Sensi was fit for like a whole month and a half, and Conte was just refusing to play him because I think he just started boycotting him. He was like, I'm sick of you getting injured. So I think it makes sense with Sensi to ease him in, because we've seen once, like, you guys know, like with Sensi what it is. Eduardo says he'd rather have Bastoni as more of a left back than Di Marco. Well, what do you mean? I mean, Di Marco is a left back. I know that Bastoni can definitely cover. He could possibly play as a left back, but Di Marco is a left back. Yeah, that's a good point as well. Vecino's kind of dropped off, especially since Gagliardini came back fit. And this is the confirmation that, Inzaghi wanted Gagliardini at Lazio, that he likes Gagliardini, because Vecino started off decent. He had a good substitute appearance against Atalanta. But then when he started against Shakhtar, he wasn't great. But yeah, that's what we say in terms of when we're talking about January, numbers wise, we're fine, guys. Like numerically in that midfield as well, like numbers wise, we're fine. It's just, qualitatively, you could say there's definitely improvements to be made. But, Gagliardini, Sensi, Vecino, Vidal, these are our substitutes. Like we've got 4 good substitutes there to come in. Di Marco should start, Joe says. Might be in your top 5 players so far. I would disagree. I think he's done well, but I'm expecting a little bit more from Di Marco. King Darian says Dumfries should start Inter because Inter have a lot of the ball. Yeah, exactly. He's not going to be defending a lot of the time. He's going to be attacking for most of the time, and I think attacking wise, he does offer more than Darmian. You think Bastoni can start? He already got a rest, and he doesn't start for Italy all the time. That's true, but he started every game for Italy in this past international break, which is not usual. And it looks like he probably is going to be the starter now. It seems like Mancini's finally planning for the future, so he's played both the games for Italy actually. Bastoni can rest. Di Marco already played the first leg and familiar with Sherrif's attackers. Yeah, that's another potential reason. Where am I from? I'm from Leicester, bro. I'm the driver of the Dumfries hype train, so put my boy in. Oh yeah, that's one thing I wanted to discuss, guys. Dumfries and Correa actually received some boos in the and that reminds me, with the crowd back in the San Siro, you forget how ruthless the San Siro crowd can be, the Miazza crowd. And I tweeted out like this video, which I feel bad now because it's kind of gone a little bit viral, that of Dumfries doing, that moment where he did like this little step over and he kind of just like, brick freeze moment, he just kind of froze. Let me pull it up in case you guys haven't seen it. It's more just a funny moment to me. I'm not even like criticizing him or anything. It's like it's like a little that Emil Heskey type clunky step over. And yeah, I don't want to see people getting on the back of him already. Like, the Miazza crowd, it can be so ruthless. Like, let's get behind this guy. Let's not, criticize the guy too much yet. We're only in November. Let's give this guy time. Tom GD in the house says he missed the stream. Yeah, Asim, thank you very much for becoming a member. I appreciate you, bro. And I've given you a channel member shout out for the 3 new channel members this week, Massimo, Bin, and Tom. I've never actually been to the Inter Club London, Tom, and I do want to go. I've always wanted to go, and I know that you guys are back up and running if you do go. But it's in London, so it's a little bit of a trek from me from Leicester. But I do definitely want to do that and do like, a little vlog if I ever do go. So yeah, I'll hit you up if I ever decide to come down. Saud said he would start Dumfries against Sherrif because we could counter them with some speed. And yeah, Darmian is a must for the derby. I agree. Yeah, to keep the balance in Vidal, you can keep the balance in defense as well. I think all of our midfielders are quite, apart from Hakan and Sensi, I think most of them do offer balance. Like with Gagliardini, you have defensive balance with the Vecino as well, with Vidal as well. Save Darmian for the derby. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I'm leaning towards Dumfries as more I speak to you guys. I'm leaning towards Dumfries starting. Yeah, King Abdullah, I'm doing a video that will come out either today or tomorrow on this. So we'll speak about that. Oh, Adeyemi is Nigerian. Nice. Hey, there you go. Your Nigerian, your Niger propaganda is working. Since he's watched his last good game was 2 years ago. Hey. Whoa. Chill out on the Sensi slander, brother, on this channel. This is not the channel you come to slander Sensi. Yes, I'm not on the Sensi hype train for a little while until he gets fully fit, but you can't do my boy Sensi like that. Yeah, Luka Jovic is a guy we've talked about in the past as potentially being the guy that we do look at. But it's a career revival that you're going for when you come from Jovic. So it's a big gamble. But I would be willing to take that gamble for the right, for a loan with option, 2-year loan with option. Lord Figo in the house. No mercy to the Sheriff. I like that. No mercy to the Sheriff. We need to shoot the Sheriff down. Once again, Akash in the house as well. Exactly, bro. November is a massive month for us. 3 points is the only thing that's needed. It's a do or die month, as Razor Vorian says. Let's go with the match prediction now. I think with this squad is, as I said, this is our strongest team, depending on who you want to put in terms of Dumfries or Mati Darms or Correa or Lautaro up there. This is the team that can go to Transitania, Moldova, and get the win, get the W. But I think in this one we might concede one. I don't think we're gonna get a clean sheet in this one. I'm gonna go for another. What are you guys saying? I'm gonna look at your predictions first, and then I'll give you my one. So I'm feeling the pressure now that I've got 3 predictions correct in a row. I don't want to just say willy-nilly predictions. The Rune to replace Brozovic? No, the Rune is a you replace Brozovic in terms of running, in terms of hard work, in terms of tackling. He's a better defensively than Brozovic, but he's nowhere near as good on the ball. He's not a progressive passer. He doesn't offer as much as Brozovic would do. He's definitely tailor-made for that Atalanta system. So no, for me. Yeah, I agree. I think Sensi for now, those 20-30 minutes that he gets at the end of the matches, that's where he needs to show that he's ready to go. Okay, King Darian's going for a 3-1. Gerard's going for a 3-1. Petros, I don't know if you meant that as a joke or if you said that by mistake or as a joke, but Inter better not lose in November because it's not November. So congratulations if that was actually your joke, but otherwise I'm stealing that because Inter better not lose in the not November. Akash says 2-1. Eminem says 2-0. So another clean sheet. Barella and Lautaro. Michael says 2-0. Tommy saying 3-0. And Nikolai is like hedging his bets. He's going for 3. He's putting €1 for each one of those results. King Abdullah is going for a more conservative 1-0. Massimo is saying 2-0. We've got momentum. Players looking more confident on the ball. Razor Vorian says, is playing Correa behind Dzeko and Lautaro a good idea? Would open him up. Yeah, I mean, that 3-4-1-2 you're saying... I think this team we saw that in the Conte. I just don't think this team can handle that formation. We need someone that's more of a defense. Then someone like a Darun could work because you need someone that's just happy being more disciplined in midfield. I think Brozovic and Barella, if they're the 2 in midfield for a 3-4-1-2, they're just I don't think they're disciplined enough, or I don't think they can thrive like that. We need a different profile if you want to play that type of formation. I think that would leave us be too open in game. If we're chasing the game, then definitely can work, but it's too open for me. Is Pellegrini a good choice? Yeah, he's just signed a new contract. Unfortunately, his contract was expiring at the end of this season, but Jose's revived him, and he signed a new contract, and he's the captain, so he would have been. Now it's going to be very hard to get him. 4-0. Jeez. Optimistic 2-0. Future is going for 3-1. Ah, okay, Petra. So yeah, you do deserve credit for that. Yeah, I'm not stealing it there from you. You deserve that. Saud says 2-1. Okay, I'm gonna go for. Yeah, I feel like we're gonna concede a goal in this one. Especially like if the DiMarco plays, I feel like there could be a lapse of concentration, or those guys are dangerous on the counter attack. Let me have a quick look at their predicted lineup, because it looks like that Bruno guy is not playing for them. He was really dangerous. The CAM that was playing here. That is the guy who scored the free kick, Till. But the guy who was playing here, he was the most impressive for me. This Bruno guy, he was killing us on the counter attack. He's a really good dribbler, and looks like he's not starting. So, and this Adama Traore guy was good as well. I'm going for it. Yeah, let's go for a clean sheet again, because that Bruno guy is not there. So I'm going for a 2-0. 2-0. And as Mohammed says, hopefully easy dub. Lord Figo says Inter will win by 4 or 5 to crush the Sheriff. Wow, I like the positivity, man. Yeah, I'm gonna go for a 2-0. I said this last time actually, Nicola. Yeah, I predicted Dumfries to score his first goal against Sheriff. It almost happened if he just got his touch right. But it looks like he's not starting, unfortunately. It looks like he's Darmian starting, even though we want him to start. But yeah, guys, I'm going for a 2-0 victory. Thank you very much for tuning in, and it's been a very interactive stream. You guys have been, I've really enjoyed your comments today. You've been very, very good. Hello, Spurs fan. Yeah, I am a part-time Spurs fan now, unfortunately, and due to Antonio Conte, I'm going to be watching a lot more Tottenham Cockspur matches. He's the history of Tottenham. Let's see if Conte can change the history of Tottenham. And yes, guys, look out for my video on my reaction to Antonio Conte to Spurs. And obviously, coming days, tomorrow, post-match to the Sheriff match. And then there will be a preview to the Derby della Madonnina. Exciting times. That is always exciting, the Derby della Madonnina, before the international break as well. So we have to... It's a big week for Inter. This is, a decider. This is a decider for the Champions League. Let's not forget, if we don't win here, that puts our Champions League place in jeopardy. And then afterwards, of course, the Milan matches. Are we the real deal? We'll see, bro. Gonde might bring Spurs a trophy finally. Porta Inter Tommy, as you said. And yes, guys, before you leave, make sure you leave a thumbs up. And if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe. Shouts out once again to the new channel members. Shouts out to all of you that joined today. Ciao ragazzi. Forza Inter.